because I'm with giant people and we have giant pride. I heard about this nomination. I said, what am I going to say? And I didn't know. So I go back to my legendary coach. It's 1982. I thought I would go to North Carolina. Because you know, life's just supposed to be bed of roses. You know, good time in high school, win a couple national championships. We didn't do it. I called Coach Smith in 1982. He won his first one. And I said, oh, this could be great. I was so excited, beat Georgetown. I didn't do it, but I was still happy for my hero. Called him on the phone. Linda was on the phone. Secretary. Coach, is Coach there? Well, you know, he's got about 35 calls. I waited. Picked up the phone. I said, Coach Smith, congrats. Before I get him to say, he goes, Dave Colescott, thank you. What? You just won a national championship. I'm calling to congratulate you, and you say thank you. I said, oh, I'll say that to these people. Because it's the same thing. No one's going to say thank you to me tonight. I'm going to say thank you to you. Because that's what it's all about. I wouldn't be here without you. So, my dad made me, I don't read it, but I have a speech. That was supposed to be another joke. I'm not doing very good. But I'm going to keep at it because am I going to keep at it? Oh, I'm going to keep at it. But here's my quote. Good teachers help you improve, but great teachers inspire you for life. And that's what I really, really believe. A little bit about my ride at Marion. 1962. I'm a kid in kindergartner. I have my lunchbox. I'm ready to go. Raincoat. I'm a Kindle Colt. And as you can tell, I like to be dramatic. This is a true story. My sister Susie went to school when I was 4 years old. I got to spend 1 year with Marge Colescott. All by myself. No 3 older sisters, and it was the time of my life. So, I had to go to school. And as I am a drama king, I got there at school, Kindle. Marge didn't know I was going to have a meltdown, drama Dave. And I proceeded to say, I'm not going to school. My career started, true story, on the flagpole. And Mr. Wiesner, if you can have a picture of this, is pulling my feet for about 40 seconds. And I'm not letting go. But you know what? He was a giant. He held me up. He had my back. God bless Mr. Wiesner because I finished school. What I remember about Kendall and Gary McClure, I'm sorry, I didn't get that half-court shot to beat Center School when I was at Kendall. I'm sorry, Gary. I won't look at you, Gary, but you do remember that, right? Do you remember, Gary? Money, baby. I learned the power of the whistle, 4th grade. Mr. Guinea, and Patty knows this, he said the next person that shoots the ball is going to be off the team. I was playing on the team. At that time, my dad was the head coach. I shot it. You're out. Went home. Mom, what am I going to tell Dad? I don't know. Tell him the truth. Dad got kicked off the team. What'd you do? I shot the ball after the whistle. He said, well, yeah, I talked to him in the morning. Met Mr. Guinea, and I pleaded to him, he let me back on the team, so my career didn't end in the 4th grade. But I remember the teachers, and think about it, all of our teachers in the grade schools, you know their names. Why is that? And everybody knows Bobby, because you inspire people. But I remember all my teachers. The best letter I got from Miss Stanley in 1976 to congratulate me. My second grade teacher. And it was so neat. She was inspiring. But the kindness was there at Kendall. But the last story, the dumbest thing I ever did, Imogene Hook was our nurse. And I learned a trick. Mom heard you had a temperature. No questions. Didn't go to school. Went into Imogene Hook's class. And I said, I'm going to go home today. So I put my thermometer on the radiator, whatever the heater thing was called, register back then. Sorry, Doc, but I didn't go see Doc Long, thank you, but she said, oh my gosh, we gotta call an ambulance. You should be dead. I said, no, I'm not that sick, I'm feeling better right now. I think she said it was 106. But wasn't the smartest move, but the next is the thrill. You know, you talk about people inspire me, and David Wright, he inspires me. And we did win that football game.
All right.
That's right, David. But what you said about inspiring, thank you, is so important. You inspire all of us. But listen to some of these names that I had in my junior high school. I'm moving to high school. Marge Record, John Ernest, Mike Powell, Mrs. Tony. I can't call her Mrs. Filbert. Just a few. And you know, we laugh with what's been said, but with John Ernest, that's real. How many times have I thought about what he said to me? It wasn't about baseball. I happen to be proud that I got more recoveries in Marion High School than anybody had. And what a recovery wasn't a rebound. It was that no man's ball. It was my ball. It was Marion's ball. How many times in business I think about that man and what he said to me? It's right here. Because you can't steal second with your foot on first. And there's always somebody out there trying to get you. And I love it. But that's him. He inspired me. So today it's about them. It's not only the basketball court. Mrs. Tony, I'm sorry to embarrass you, but how lucky am I to have two teachers that are still here with us? And I'm old, so how old are they? Hey, no, that's better, Doctor. That was better. Okay. We were in the 9th grade social studies class. And just tell me to get off, because I'm going to keep going. I'm going to enjoy the moment. We were at 9th grade social studies, and I never noticed, because we're at Marion, you're just all from all walks of life. I looked at these guys, I said, whoa, this is a group. These people are a bunch of malfeasance. And I wasn't exactly the sharpest dressed person in the world, like I am now. But I'll never forget. I love Miss Tony. You know why? She changed course. I don't blame her. I could only imagine what she said to the principal. I don't know what to do. They're not learning anything. They're throwing stuff. It was crazy. But you remember what you did, Miss Tony. But what she did it out of love. She didn't get, I would have been mad. I'd have voted, I'd have been mad. She said, we're going to change course. I have never been in a class in my whole life that changed the curriculum. And I don't blame her. But I do the same thing now. I will be at a retailer, we'll meet at Macy's, and we're talking to Macy's, and it's getting crazy, we're going back and forth. We're not getting anywhere. And I do this all the time. I say, caucus, we need to caucus. We take 10 minutes, team comes back together, and we readjust. We relook at the situation. I think Bill Great was pretty good at that. But that is an example. So, Miss Tony, I have never told you that, and I'm sorry, but I've been blessed because now I have a chance to say that, and I've always wanted to tell you that. Thank you. Marge Record. Oh, who knows Marge Record? Anybody know? Okay, thanks, Judy. I see you. So, I want somebody to tell Marge Record that She is probably one of the greatest educators that inspired me. She taught me no matter what, you know, little Marion, she'll look at you with those eyes. She said, never, ever say Xmas. It's Christmas. And you tell her, whoever can get the word to her, Colescott's got it. But she came to my mom's funeral and she cried. Anyway, I have to move on. Marion High School. Wow, what a time. You know, in the 60s, we were at Kendall and Justice. And my heroes were right in front of us. I mean, what greatest time to be at Marion. And it didn't matter if it was 26th Street Singers. And by the way, in the house back there, you guys are awesome. But we had so many talented people. We had so much spirit. But I got to be around these teachers. I mean, how lucky am I? Mike Crouch, class guy. Mike Crouch, best psychology teacher, horrible referee. I want somebody to tell him that. Horrible referee. Needed glasses. But he's class. I loved him. He taught me to be neat, taught me to think about my self-awareness. Obviously, I don't think about my self-awareness too often, but he was a wonderful person. Bill Beekman, the only guy I've never beaten in tennis. And not only did I never beat him, he beat me 6-0, 6-0, and then apologized to me. Art Caldwell. Just what a great baseball guy. He believed in me. And I really feel bad that I didn't play my last year for him. I let him down. Bill Green, all I ever heard him say, I don't care if your dad's my boss, you can fire me. But he motivated me in a moment that I'll never forget. Playing the semi-state, hadn't won a state in 49 years. We get to go to the big dance after we beat Northside. It's about a 5-point lead. We hit 9 straight shots. I'm like, I'm gonna be happy. This is happy time. And I hit 3 or 4. We're up about 20 points. And Hay calls a timeout. Coach Green's in the huddle. He picks me up from my shirt. He's red in the face, screaming, "What have you done for me? I want more." So I will tell you, that was a very defining moment, because you never, ever mess with momentum, and you're only as good as what you've done that day. But he is a legend. Sue Kiefer, Sue Kiefer Cirque. She was my Shakespeare teacher. I gotta tell you, greatest teacher ever had. I even learned a lot about Macbeth, about all the Shakespeare, and I've never met anybody that motivated me this way. She loved to read, and from this day, from her, I learned to love to read. I took advantage of her, though. At Carolina, I was a freshman, and there was a beautiful girl in my class. She smiled at me. I said, "Oh." I smiled at her. And I said, "I think I'll use a little different tact rather than just go right for. I'll use a little bit, show her that I'm a thespian. I know a little bit about Shakespeare." And I said to her, I'll never forget, "When I saw you, I fell in love. You smiled because you knew." She looked at me. "What are you doing? Where do you get that from? You're weird. Leave me alone." Maybe I don't know what happened. And last but not least, the history department. Whew. Sickert, Kumler, Miss Henkel. And you know what? They taught me to have fun. It's okay to have fun. It is okay to have fun. You gotta have energy, but they have a line. Whew. When you hit that line, don't go past that line. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Dr. Philby? They're tough. But they taught me to love and to be energetic and love life and love history. So those are some of the inspiring teachers that I had. And I know I'm running out of time. Am I okay? But this one, Cabrera and Ellie, whoever thought I'd hang out with a Vermilion? But yesterday I was with Ellie and Cabrera. Did we not bond? I had never met these two. And they're giants. And we just had everything. Did we connect? They called me by my nickname, Skippy. But they have giant pride. When I think of giant pride, I think of diversity. You're never alone. Everybody has your back. You're expected to perform at a high standard. And Mike O'Corn, my teammate in North Carolina, our first game at Carmichael Auditorium, maybe 10,000. He can't even, he's shaking. And I said, why are you shaking? There's 9,900 people. I said, I play in front of 7,000 every day. But what is that? Can you imagine? He played in front of 200 after school. So I call that giant pride. We're part of something bigger. It's part of the community. And what fun is it to go out and play in front of 50 people? And I never understood. I played in front of Carolina and here. But it was never the same after that. Because all your classmates are with you, all your friends, all the community people. So I call that giant pride, and that's something bigger. It became very important to me. And probably the best thing that I tried to learn from my dear old dad and giant pride, we never wanted to beat you. I just wanted to win. And I get so tired of people wanting to cream people and beat them up and annihilate people. Why? You just want to win. I didn't want to beat you, but I wanted to win. There is one exception now. It's called Duke. Does anybody disagree? I'm sorry, good Lord, I'm a Baptist, I'm a deacon as you can see, but I will pray for that one, but I don't want to beat anybody to do. But that man right there did a lot of that, and that Sooners did a lot of that, and all these great players that played for Marion. Clyde Thornell, you know I'm going to mention you. You made it happen. You guys started it. And I'm tired of listening to all this stuff about 3-peat and all this other stuff, and our back-to-back. Thank you. So, my last story, I know I'm getting, but like I said, I want to breathe in with that. Love this moment. First game in college at Duke. And I had to tell one story. And I'm sorry, it's a sports story, but lifelong lesson. I think you know the rivalry with Tobacco Road, North Carolina, the preferred school, and Duke. Those frustrated Harvard, they couldn't get into Harvard and Yale. But I'm not talking bad, but I'm talking the truth. They always had a frown on their face. That's those Duke people. So if there's any Duke fans in the crowd tonight, good. Sorry you're all smiling. First game. And you know, I thought you guys taught me a lot about looking the other way. I was actually playing in Blackford, and I was kicked with a steel-toed boot, and I couldn't hardly walk. I was cussed out. I've been called everything. This man right here would sit down by gate 4, and he would be ridiculed because of me, because I was, I guess, cocky. I don't know why. And he never said a word. Judy, am I right? And by the way, I have to say something about the purse singers. I forgot the Sooners purse singers. And Judy, it all came from you. I love you. But it's just, he didn't say anything because he had class. But this took to a new level. So this is a true story. You can fact check me. First game, I'm walking out as a freshman, and I don't have anything to do at this time. A Clearasil bottle hits me in the head. Then another Clearasil tube. I'm like, this is strange. I'm used to the cursing, talking about this and talking about that. I get hit by 5 more Clearasil bottles. I couldn't believe it. All of a sudden, my center, who had bad acne, was crying. I said, why are you crying? Michael Corn and Chicky Honaker. He said, I'm the Clearasil poster child. You're talking about getting in their head. So I'm laughing at them and never laugh at somebody else. I'm taking the ball out of bounds. And this guy goes, I think Nancy's cute. And then some other person says, Linda's kind of a short girl. And they're talking about my sisters. And then it says the next time I took the ball out of bounds, they're talking about Susan. And then something about my dad, Jack Colescott. He said, your dad couldn't coach. I'm like, where did they learn this? So I would turn around and look at him. Of course, Coach Smith got mad at me. And just like we were talking about, I had to focus. That was a lifelong lesson. But they get into your head. And in life, that's probably the biggest thing you have to do. You have to keep all that noise out. But I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe anybody had done their homework like that. So my career didn't end great. But I was so happy for the ride that I had and the people I met. And I'll never forget, I had to get a job. And I had my interview. And my president, Sarah Lee, I met with him. It's my only time I've had an interview and a resume in my life. I met with the president of Haynes. And he says to me, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. Probably wasn't the best answer to a president. He said, well, you talk a lot, so you might as well be in sales. And the rest is history. But what he knew is that I was going to outwork anybody, that I had these people here, you guys in my heart, and I was going to outwork them. I was going to out-hustle. And the biggest difference, though, that I think why I've been successful for 38 years is that the giant pride taught me that you can work with anybody and you can do anything that you want to do. I am part of a bigger thing in Haynes. There was a brand called Champion, just like what you talked about. Champion was the brand. Russell and Champion, so you didn't have Nike and Under Armour, but we brought Champion back. And the reason we brought them back, because we have pride. And we work together. So I guess when I think about the Clearasil and Duke, the biggest thing that I hear, I'm always being asked, Dave, can you get a couple of high-profile basketball players to come speak and motivate our team? I'm like, you don't need that. You don't need cliches. You need what we have here. And that is everybody from all different walks of life. Our diversity makes us stronger, pulling together. That's all you need. You don't need speeches. You need people working together. And jealousy and all that is too much in the workplace. So I'm very, very proud. I had a Bobby Knight story, but I'm not going to tell it. But I do have a good one. But in closing, I do want to say what Coach Smith said to me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, because without you, I know I wouldn't be standing here. And Leslie, thank you. Doctor, you know how I think about you. Keith, I like you better in your outfit yesterday. But I do want to thank everybody, and I am proud to be a Marion Giant.